Hey guys, so I'm Heather, if you don't know, and this is Brodie, and we're just gonna have a conversation about how we hear from God, how we meditate on scripture, how we just spend time intentionally listening to Jesus' voice, or for his voice, or listening to nothing. So Brodie, what are some practices that you do to try and hear from God?
Well, one of the ways, especially right now, I mean, things are so different that it's been actually an opportunity to find creative ways that I haven't been doing in the past. So one of the things that I've been doing is going for walks. And thankfully Orange County opened up the beaches to be able to, for active use, so I got to go for a walk this week. And like as the tide's coming in and the waves are bigger, like I just felt God talking to me about his strength and his power, and how, you know, I've been feeling really uncomfortable and kind of anxious in this time about my job, my family's jobs, you know, what the world's going to look like after this. And so being able to sit on the, like walk on the beach and like feel the waves, hear the waves, and it's just so loud and powerful and strong, and there's so many details within a wave if you look at it. I just was reminded of how strong and powerful God is, and how many details are in his single movement that we can't even measure. So that was something new that I've been trying, whether that looks like at the beach or walking around the block around my house, just trying to pay more attention to nature and his footprint in that.
So when you see nature, how does that like correlate to your vision of God? I know you're saying about like the strength and the like force of the waves. Is there like do those ideas just come to your mind, or are you like staring at them and then slowly, like, can you just share that process a little?
Yeah. So the wave example, for example, it was something that I was watching and just kind of like, wow, that wave was so powerful. Like I haven't seen waves like that, or like looking at it and being more observant, I would say, intentionally looking for, you know, how this wave is different than why does it feel different, I guess. And so just watching and, you know, seeing the wave crash and all of the air bubbles that pop out, and the different, how every wave is different, like it just, I'm sorry, that didn't make any sense as I was saying it. Sorry. Can we restart it?
Do you want to start from the beginning?
If you restart what you're saying, that's an easier cut.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you ask? I asked
The process, yes. So one of the ways that I've been doing that has been like walking around the block at my house. And so I'll go for a walk, and I purposely not listen to any music. I just stay really quiet and just actively listening. And so I'll see like dogs walk by, and it's really cool to see like how many different breeds there are and how many people enjoy dogs and get comfort out of them. Like that's such a joy that we even get an animal like that in our midst, and even in our homes during this time. I'll see trees and be like, wow, that tree's really cool. Like look how it bends over one certain way, or trees give us oxygen. Like the fact that God has given us plants to self-sustain us is crazy cool, and it's just an example of how much he loves us, that he would build things into our planet that keep us alive and are self-sustaining and are absolutely beautiful to look at. So I'm just paying attention, I guess, to my surroundings and being intentional and asking God, like, can you show me like what you've been doing?
Do you like hear that every time? Because I feel like sometimes I know I go out and I like have the intention.
Totally.
Can you share like what that's like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously not every time, but I think God speaks to us when he wants to speak to us, and I think as long as we're listening, that's the important part, right?
So there's a lot of different ways we can practice trying to listen for God, and like Brodie shared, there's times where we try to go on a walk and we're like, here I am, Jesus, and you might not hear anything, and that's totally okay. And then there's awesome moments when we're at the beach staring at the waves. I know I like to hammock and I just like stare up at the sky and maybe a tree and just like feel somehow like convicted, I guess is like the word that comes to mind, or like moved, yeah, that's great. Of just like Jesus's power and his presence and his love and his kindness and his beauty. Like I look at nature and I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so we just want to encourage you guys to find, if it's your balcony, if it's going to the beach, if it's going for a walk in your neighborhood, if it's petting your dog, there's ways to look and find Jesus in this time of quarantine.